For decades, the legendary B-52 Stratofortress ruled the skies as a symbol of American air dominance. But now, a new titan is emerging, the 2025 B-52 Lancer, packed with next-gen tech, raw power, and game-changing capabilities that could reshape modern warfare. But just how powerful is this upgraded beast? What secret systems have been added? And could this deadly aircraft shift the global balance of military power? Join us as we break down the jaw-dropping features of the 2025 B-52 Lancer and reveal why the world should be watching closely. During the Cold War, the U.S. raced to stay ahead of the Soviet Union, especially in the skies. One major breakthrough from that era was the B-52 Stratofortress, a bomber that became a true icon. Boeing had already proven itself with the B-17 Flying Fortress in World War II, followed by the B-29 Superfortress, capable of nuclear payloads and long-range missions. By late 1945, nearly 4,000 B-29s had rolled out, solidifying Boeing's bomber legacy. With that reputation, Boeing was the top pick when the Air Force needed a new aircraft to replace the Convair B-36 Peacemaker, one that was faster, deadlier, and had intercontinental reach without mid-air refueling. The result? The B-52, a bomber that shattered expectations and would remain in service for decades. The Air Force's requirements were bold. They wanted a long-range bomber with a 5-man crew, 300 miles per hour cruising speed at 34,000 feet, and a 5,000-mile combat radius. Armaments? 20mm cannons and 10,000 pounds of mixed munitions. But soon the demands grew. Now the bomber had to reach 400 miles per hour, fly 12,000 miles, and carry nuclear weapons. That was a serious leap. One big debate was over the engine type. Turboprop versus turbojet. Jets were faster, but guzzled fuel. Despite the risks, Boeing was getting the green light to push forward with its jet-powered concept. During development, the Air Force clashed over key design choices. General Howard A. Craig pushed for turboprops, doubting jet engines were reliable enough. Meanwhile, General Curtis LeMay pushed back hard, insisting on jets and side-by-side cockpit seating for better endurance and crew morale. LeMay's bold stance helped shape the future of the B-52, not just as a machine, but as a long-haul nuclear-capable warplane ready for Cold War missions. After heated debates, engineers locked in a top speed of 500 miles per hour and a range of 8,000 miles. But the final design stages came with a twist. A team of Boeing engineers, including George Scherer, Art Carlson, von Blumenthal, and VP Ed Wells, faced critical last-minute decisions that would define one of the most iconic bombers in aviation history. Instead of working in a high-tech lab, these brilliant minds went hands-on. They grabbed materials from a local hobby store and built a prototype right in a Dayton, Ohio hotel room at the Van Cleve Hotel. Yes, one of history's most iconic bombers began as a DIY project, more garage workshop than military lab. The design was inspired by the B-47. The prototype featured swept-back wings angled at 35 degrees, a shape that would soon define high-speed military aviation. What began as a rough model became one of the most powerful aircraft ever built. Proof that big ideas don't need fancy labs, just passion and creativity. Now, picture this. A sleek, silver plane with 8 powerful engines, 4 under each wing, and a unique bicycle-style landing gear with extra wheels on the wingtips. It all started with a balsa wood model, shaped by experts in Dayton. That model gave birth to one of the most legendary subsonic bombers of all time. The U.S. military was blown away. Their vision of a long-range strategic bomber had taken flight. In April 1952, just 3 years after the Soviet Union's first atomic test, the prototype B-52 Stratofortress roared into the skies, ushering in a new era of aerial warfare. By June 1955, the B-52 officially joined service with the 93rd Heavy Bombardment Wing at Castle Air Force Base in California. With its unmatched range and nuclear payload capacity, it became the backbone of America's Strategic Air Command. Decades later, the B-52 still flies, proof of its timeless design and raw power. In January 1957, the Air Force achieved something historic. Three B-52s flew nonstop around the globe during Operation Power Flight, averaging 525 miles per hour and completing the journey in just 45 hours and 19 minutes. The first ever global flight by jet-powered aircraft. And that was just the start. One of its most jaw-dropping feats came when a B-52 flew 12,532 miles without refueling, from Kadena Air Base in Japan to Torrejon Air Base in Spain. That record-setting trip showcased the bomber's incredible endurance and global reach. Today, the B-52 still plays a vital role. Only the B-52H variant remains in service, an upgraded version of the B-52G with better engines, advanced avionics, and modern weapon systems. Decades after its debut, it still rules the skies. By the early 60s, the B-52 was a sky giant, but its engines were aging. Enter the Pratt & Whitney TF-33P3 turbojets. These upgraded power plants boosted speed and fuel efficiency. After some early issues were ironed out by 1964, the aircraft was stronger than ever. The difference was massive. With the new engines, the B-52's top speed hit 650 miles per hour. Its range stretched to 8,800 miles without refueling, perfect for long missions and Cold War dominance. And then came the firepower upgrades. A new tail tower was fitted with the powerful 20mm M61A1 Vulcan rotary cannon. To enhance low-altitude capabilities, engineers installed a high-tech aeronautics suite, including a terrain-following radar system, letting the bomber fly low, fast, and under the radar. A newly upgraded fire control system boosted the B-52's defenses, turning it into an even deadlier force in today's battles. With these updates, the legendary bomber isn't just surviving, it's evolving. Believe it or not, the U.S. Air Force still relies heavily on a bomber that first flew when Elvis Presley topped the charts. Nicknamed the Buff, the B-52 Stratofortress has been in service for over 60 years, and it's still going strong. This massive warbird is tough, dependable, and surprisingly affordable. It shines in missions where advanced enemy air defenses aren't a major threat, making it a favorite in modern U.S. military operations, especially post-Cold War conflicts. But don't think it's outdated. This battle-proven beast played a key role in Operation Iraqi Freedom, delivering pinpoint strikes to support ground forces. Among the Air Force's 3 heavy bombers, the B-52 boasts the highest mission readiness rate. When duty calls, it's ready. Why is it still so valuable? Its unmatched range, heavy payload, and flexibility. It can carry both nuclear and conventional weapons, making it a core part of America's strike power. And with ongoing upgrades like new engines and advanced avionics, it's expected to keep flying into the 2050s, outlasting bombers designed decades later. Flashy or not, the B-52 proves that sometimes old school gets the job done best. Back in 2000-2001, some of the U.S. Air Force's most high-tech bombers had one big problem. They weren't ready to fly. The B-52 Spirit, known for its stealth and $1 billion price tag, had a dismal readiness rate of just 30%. The sleek B-1 Lancer did slightly better at 53%. But then came the Cold War era B-52, reliable as ever, with an 80.5% readiness rate. Still, by 2020, even this workhorse needed an upgrade plan. Enter the Commercial Engine Replacement Program. The goal: replace its old, fuel-hungry engines with modern, efficient ones. In April 2020, the Air Force requested 608 new engines. General Electric responded with its CF-34-10 and Passport turbofans, designed for efficiency and durability. This wasn't just an engine swap. It was a strategy to keep the B-52 relevant in 21st century combat, with fewer maintenance headaches and better performance. If it works, this bomber, born in the age of black and white TV, could still be flying in the era of AI warfare and hypersonic missiles. In September 2021, the Air Force faced a big choice. Who would power the next-gen B-52? Pratt & Whitney offered the PW-800, while Rolls-Royce pitched the BR-725, renamed the F-130. After a close race, the Air Force chose Rolls-Royce's F-130 and signed a $2.6 billion deal for 650 engines, securing B-52's future for decades. Some experts suggested switching from 8 engines to 4 to boost fuel savings and cut maintenance. But that would have required redesigning the wings, airframe, and control systems, too complex and costly. So, the Air Force stuck with the classic 8-engine layout, preserving the bomber's legendary endurance and power. The B-52 Stratofortress is getting a major upgrade, designed not just to look sharper, but to dominate in modern war zones. These updates are complex and expensive, but the results are game-changing. One major improvement is a new APG-79 B4 ASA radar, replacing the old mechanical system. This tech gives the B-52 longer detection range, better accuracy, and improved jamming resistance, making it much harder to blind or fool in battle. You'll also notice a new, cleaner nose design. That's because the Air Force removed the old sensor fairings from under the nose, streamlining the bomber's look while integrating newer, more advanced tech. The forward-looking infrared system on the right, and the Westinghouse AVQ 22 low-light TV on the left once formed the B-52's electro-optical viewing system. Back then, it was cutting-edge tech that let crews fly low and safe. But today, those old systems are outdated, replaced by sleeker, more aerodynamic designs. Now upgraded, the B-52 isn't just surviving, it's becoming one of the most advanced bombers on the planet. For over 70 years, the B-52 Stratofortress has symbolized American air power, and somehow, it just keeps getting deadlier. One major upgrade? Its targeting system. The outdated pods were ditched and replaced with high-tech Lockheed Martin Sniper or Northrop Grumman Lightning pods, mounted under the left wing. These let the B-52 strike with laser precision. This alone turned the B-52H into a much more lethal weapon in modern warfare. But in 2022, Boeing stirred up buzz with a new rendering of the B-52H. Something seemed off. The underwing pylons looked too simple, lacking detail. And the right-wing pylon? It wasn't clearly visible at all. That set off speculation. Was it built to carry something huge? Experts guess it might be designed for hypersonic weapons, like the AGM-183 air-launched rapid response weapon. A missile meant to change the game, flying over 5 times the speed of sound and striking before the enemy could react. And for a while, things looked good. In March 2024, AB-52H successfully launched the AGM-183A near Guam. But by 2025, the program was canceled. Just like that, the dream weapon was shelved. Still, the B-52 isn't backing down. The Air Force is pushing new upgrades to keep it combat ready. Boeing's next step? A new heavy external rack pylon. Each wing could carry up to 20,000 pounds of weapons. A huge leap. This will let the B-52 carry both current and next-gen hypersonic missiles. While other bombers faded into history, the B-52 is still flying strong. 7 decades later, it's still evolving and not going anywhere. Then came summer 2024, and a big debate erupted. Should the U.S. bring nuclear weapons back to the B-52H? At least 30 of the 76 bombers are already being upgraded to the B-52J. But now, the question was whether these Cold War legends should once again become part of America's nuclear arsenal. The plan? Equip them with a new AGM-181 long-range standoff missile, a stealthy, nuclear-capable cruise missile. This wouldn't just update the bomber. It'd turn it into a strategic powerhouse again, keeping in the nuclear triad alongside submarines and ICBMs. But here's the challenge. The Air Force is also pouring money into the new B-21 Raider, a next-gen stealth bomber built for the wars of tomorrow. So the question is, should we still invest in a jet that first flew when Elvis was king? Supporters say the B-52 has earned its stripes, upgraded constantly, still capable, and already clear to fly into the 2050s. It's tough, reliable, and adaptable. But critics argue the world's changed. With modern defenses, hypersonic weapons, and stealth aircraft everywhere, the B-52 could be outclassed and outgunned. Can it compete with stealth jets like the B-2 or the upcoming B-21? This isn't just about tech. It's about strategy. Is the B-52 still a key part of America's defense? Or is it a relic, try and stay relevant? Can this legendary warbird prove that age is just a number? Or is it finally time for the old giant to make way for the future?